All right, here's this big ugly van. This is a 1977 G20 Chevrolet van that I got from Tim Dixon the other day. He bought this thing some years ago. It sat at a drive-in for quite some time. I done a video yesterday kind of explaining that. I sort of thought maybe those stripes were for the drive-in. Didn't really know, don't really know the history on the van, but you can see I cleaned it up today. So I took Scotch-Brite and I went over this whole van. And if you want to work out, go find you a long wheelbase Chevrolet van, get you some Scotch-Brite and Scotch-Brite the whole thing. I had to get a ladder and crawl up on that roof and carefully kind of move around and keep from caving the roof in. I'm not a real small guy, so Scotch-Brited the entire roof, of course, the entire van, and it was a real workout. I'm pouring sweat right now. It's very hot still yet. It's raining a little bit, so it's helped a little bit. It's cooled it off some, but so anyway, as I was washing it today, I got to looking at it and I thought, you know what, maybe this was like an old phone company van or something, because I uncovered this 511-1111. So evidently that was the fleet number on this van. So I thought maybe it was an old Bell South van or something. Well, I got to looking back here as I started cleaning it up, and it says PPG, and I can't really make the rest of it out. I want to think that might say a coating company or something. I don't know. I think it might have been an old PPG paint van, which is kind of neat. I'm going to Google around and see if I could find another one. I'm sure there was more than one that was, striped up like this. So I'd just kind of like to see one and see exactly what this thing looked like at some point. But anyway, just using that Scotch-Brite really brought a lot of that white back out. That hood was just about completely rust and black. You can go back on my last video and look at the difference. Just looking at it here, I know it still looks like crap, guys, but it's a big difference from what it was. And I like patina. Is this the perfect patina? No. It looks okay. It's neat. Once I get the penetrol on it, that's going to bring a lot more color back out. It's going to give it kind of a real, well, not kind of, it's going to give it a glossy shine. If you don't like gloss, you don't have to use penetrol. It's like $10 or $12 a quart. The last time I bought it, it may be $15 now. But you could do this van a couple times probably with 1 quart. Or you can buy the Pappy's patina. They have a satin finish. It's kind of the same thing. I've looked at it and kind of the same thing as penetrol. They have a gloss, satin, whatever, flat. Whatever you want, I guess, but it's about $150. So something like this, I'm not really looking to spend a lot of money on this van. It's big, it's ugly, but it's cool. I think it's cool. It's just me, it's different. You don't see a lot of these old vans. They didn't really survive. Scrap metal has been up and down through the years, and these old vans were real convenient just to pile a bunch of old junk up in the back and run them across the scales and crush them. There's probably been times in the past that this van would have about brought scrap for what I gave for it, really. Of course, scrap's down right now, but it was extremely high back several years ago. And I guarantee you this van would have brought probably what I gave for it just for scrap. So this one survived, and again, that's kind of the thing with these old vans. A lot of them didn't survive. I guess that's why people are really starting to like them now. So you can see I took the old flea market office sign off the door. There had been a lot of moisture under it, and it pitted all that up. I just kind of lightly sprayed some rust kill white paint over it. I'll take some Scotch-Brite and blend that in tomorrow after it's had a good chance to dry overnight. And then I'll start putting penetrol on. Now, I put penetrol on with a paint roller, and I'll use a brush to get the edges and stuff, the little crevices. I'll show you how I do it, and there's really no right or wrong way to do it, guys. There's no directions on it. The stuff's made to put in house paint and to level out stroke marks from brushes. That's what it was made to do, so it's self-leveling. And one of my buddies kind of showed me, he was doing it to one of his old trucks, and I started playing with it, and Mr. and Mrs. PIB started playing with it. So it's a good, cheap way to put some protection on top of this old patina. And what I like about penetrol, I've had patina that I've clear coated, and that clear coat will eventually start turning white. It'll start peeling. Okay, that's what clear coat does. It peels. And the penetrol won't ever do that. It will just gradually fade away over time. Now, it dries hard. You can wash it. You can even put spray wax on it, whatever you want to do. It's not like boiled linseed oil or nothing like that crap. It's a pretty good... Is it the best way to do it? No, but it's again, guys, $10 a quart, and you coat it. If in 6 months, if it starts kind of fading out, dulling down a little bit, you want it back shining, put you another coat on it. I mean, you're never going to hurt it. The only thing I've ever worried about the penetrol, it is oil-based, and I've always kind of been concerned maybe later on if someone, which ain't nobody going to paint this fan, but if, these old trucks and stuff, if somebody wanted to paint one, they would about probably have to take them down to metal and really take some thinner to that metal, maybe to get that oil back out of it. I really don't know if that would ever even cause an issue. I'm not a professional paint guy. It's just something that's always kind of been in the back of my mind. But anyway, good cheap way to kind of add a little pop to something like this. And like I said, I'm going to try to get out here tomorrow. God willing, nothing comes up. I've got a lot of stuff that comes up. But if nothing comes up, I'm going to get out here tomorrow. I'd say it'll take me an hour or two to get the penetrol on the van, and then I'll just let it sit in here and dry overnight. Maybe turn the fans and stuff on in here. Like I said, guys, it ain't got to look perfect. Look at the van. It's just no ugly van. But it'll be handy just for running to the parts store, running to the swap meets, if I keep it. If not, maybe somebody else will take an interest in it and buy it from me. But anyway, here it is. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell y'all. So I took the master cylinder off today and built it. AutoZone did not have one. They would have to special order it, they said. A master cylinder for an old Chevrolet van, it's crazy. But that's just how things are getting anymore. Every time I try to call and buy a part anymore, they got to order it for these old trucks and cars. Small block fuel pumps, small block water pumps, just really common stuff that they used to have a dozen of. You got to order it now. And it sucks. It's aggravating, especially for me. And it's higher. This master cylinder is like $60 on a commercial account. These master cylinders used to be $15, $20. So anyway, I tore this apart, got it working, cleaned it up good, and I believe it's going to be just fine. I've got a caliper sticking up front. If you notice this, I'm about to show you what this is. And so probably end up having to either take that caliper apart and clean it up, see if I can get it to do what it's supposed to do. Or I might just have to order calipers for the front and pads. I do want to order wheel cylinders and hoses, so eventually we'll get to that. But anyway, I thought I had a bad fuel pump. I didn't. This is a fuel hose. You can see just how rigid, dried out that old fuel hose is. That was to the tank. You can just see it was broke here and it was broke there. So that's why I wasn't getting any fuel from the tank. I noticed it looked like the van had a new fuel pump, and but anyway, I couldn't get any fuel to the carburetor, so I dropped the tank down, put a new rubber line on it, and put an inline fuel filter. And so the gas in the fuel filter is very clean. So I'm just going to leave the tank alone. Again, like I said, I've got a new hose at the tank. I'm going to put a new hose up front. That one was good and soft, but I'm just going to replace it anyway. And if it ever starts pulling any trash through that filter, I will either replace the tank, pull it down, whatever I got to do. I'll fix it. I don't want any issues like that out here on the road. But I'm going to go register it tomorrow and put a tag on it. So I don't know, maybe I'll get a little use out of it. I may grow tired of it pretty quick. But anyways, plugs, wires, get the brakes fixed. Just give the van a tune-up. And I'm going to throw some insurance on it and start running this thing around here local. As I've always said, the best medicine for these old vans, or these old cars, trucks, vans, whatever, is to drive them. So, and I guarantee this van needs to be drove. It's probably not been drove real hard in a very long time. All right, that's where I'm at with it. I've, at least, like I said, got it to the point now I can get it in and out of my shop. I'm going to get the penetrol on it tomorrow, and I'll pick back up later on once I get some of this other stuff done. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later.